Good afternoon, I'm Kim Baez. We're getting a better idea of just how wet New Mexico has become after a week of powerful storms. The bad part of it, virtually every part of the state has a big cleanup and repair bill. News 13's Chris McKee is in the Newsplex with more.
Kim, federal officials say almost every New Mexican county has now reported significant storm damage this month, and the process to tally it all up is still going.
Socorro County saw flooded homes. Catron County saw roads vanish. And rivers of mud washed through Rio Arriba County. But all of this is just a slice of what happened to New Mexico this September.
It's so widespread, I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get a full understanding of what happened.
New Mexico's Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management says storms have damaged almost every New Mexican county.
All across the state.
A whopping 25 of the state's 33 counties have reported storm damage to Homeland Security. So how much will it cost New Mexico? Well, that's hard to tell right now.
From a formal declaration standpoint, we haven't heard from all of them yet.
Only 8 counties have made official disaster declarations so far, and Homeland Security says there's also tons of damage left to look at.
There is so much ground to cover across the state right now. FEMA teams are everywhere, and we have not received any preliminary numbers yet.
New Mexico is also waiting on President Obama.
Once we get the approval from President Obama on this federal declaration, then we can start looking at what kind of federal funding or federal help we'll get to cope with this disaster.
Homeland Security says there is a good chance, though, that federal help is coming.
Based on what I've seen, it's a good bet that FEMA will come and help us out. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the numbers that they get and the assessments they make out in the field.
While the state waits, one thing that's already changed is the drought map. At the height of summer's scorching heat in June, here's how dry New Mexico was. Virtually the entire state was either experiencing exceptional or extreme drought. Now here's the state as measured about a week ago. Still dry, but a lot better after the storms.
Homeland Security estimates that it might be another month before flood damage estimates come in for the entire state. Those are expected to be at least in the millions of dollars. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Now, one of the hardest hit areas was the town of Mogollon in southern New Mexico, where the only road in and out were washed out. Crews have since been able to make a primitive four-wheel track on that route, while New Mexico DOT crews work to improve the main roads.